Hey everyone, welcome to Kicking with Kipes. I'm Kipes, and tonight is December the 11th, 2024, and we had a whopping 2 games on the schedule tonight, so let's not waste any time and let's get into it. Jumping right into it, we had the Rangers and the Sabres facing off at the KeyBank Center in Buffalo tonight. It was a pretty good game, but this was two New York teams struggling, trying to get a win, and it ended up being the Rangers toppling the Sabres 3-2 in regulation tonight. Unfortunately, the woes still continue for the Sabres as this ended up being their eighth straight loss in this contest, but it wasn't that much better news, except it is good news because the Rangers ended up winning, but this was only their third win in the past 11 games. They've been 3-8-0 in that skid. So it's just been a very, very tough sled for the Rangers and an even worse time for the Buffalo Sabres in these past couple games. Some of the main points from this game was Adam Fox, who has been in trade rumors recently. Maybe this might steer the Rangers off of this course a little bit, but if there's teams knocking, they'll definitely be coming and knocking after tonight's game because Fox had 3 points. He had a great full sheet of ice goal. He scored from behind his own red line and for the empty netter. And yeah, Zibanejad also had a milestone game tonight, scoring his 300th career NHL goal. Igor Shesterkin picks up the win in this one tonight. He made 29 saves for the Rangers tonight, while Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen was in net for the Sabres, who made 25 saves en route to the loss, who are 0-5-3 during this 8-game losing streak. And the Sabres' horrible record drops to 11-14-4. So the scoring tonight, it started off with Owen Power trying to clear his own zone for the Buffalo Sabres, and Adam Fox intercepts it, feeds it to Panarin, who makes an amazing pass over to Zibanejad, takes the wrist shot, boom, back in the net behind Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, sneaks it right past his blocker side. Owen Power continues to have a tough night in this one after Riley Smith banks the puck off of his skate to make it 2-0 Rangers. Riley Smith, he collected a rebound that kind of went off both boards behind the net, puts it in the crease, deflects it off a Power skate. Just a ugly goal. We were kind of talking about that last night. Ugly goals, still goals. And yeah, Riley Smith makes it 2-0 for the Rangers. But here we are. I just said Owen Power was having a rough night. He had a kind of a redemption arc in this one. He cut the game to 2-1 at 15:09 in the third period, taking a pass from Peyton Krebs and scoring with a wrist shot from the top of the slot. Absolutely amazing shot. It was kind of the puck was bouncing around all over the place, but Owen Power, one of the top draft picks a couple years ago, absolutely amazing lethal wrist shot. So after the Buffalo Sabres empty their net, the Rangers were struggling to clear the puck. They kept on icing the puck, getting some tired bodies out there, but finally they win the draw. Adam Fox takes it behind the red line, shoots it all the way down the ice, boom, center of the net, 3-1 New York Rangers. So the Sabres decide to pull Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen out of the net once again, and this time it works with Tage Thompson absolutely rifling the puck past Shesterkin in the net. It was a beautiful one-timer goal. You can call it a power. It was a power play goal without being on the man advantage because of a penalty. It was a perfectly set up play, pass over to the left side where Thompson just absolutely destroyed the puck and beat Shesterkin. And it brings up the question again: why isn't he on the Four Nations faceoff team for the Americans? I don't know the answer. I had him on my team because he's huge. He's got filthy hands. He's an absolutely amazing player that I personally believe got absolutely screwed out of a spot on that roster. One other note from this game: K'Andre Miller, the defenseman for the New York Rangers, did not play after the second period because of an upper body injury. He's been having a really tough year to start the season. He didn't make Team USA. That probably hurt a bit, but probably doesn't hurt as much as an upper body injury. Hopefully he won't be out for long because he needed something to go his way, and this is just not something that goes his way. Hopefully he won't be out for a long time. So 3-2, New York Rangers beat the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo, and one New York team continues to struggle while hopefully the other New York team takes this as a catapult to the playoffs. Let's just hope that. Last but certainly not least, 2 out of 2 games being covered tonight. We have the Senators and the Ducks facing off at the Canadian Tire Center. It was pretty much over before it even got started because there was an early goal. There was special teams taking a big part of this game. So let's take a look at what happened. So the Senators, they finally crawled their way back up to 500 on the season. Woohoo, big deal. You're the Senators. You're underperforming once again this year. But that you beat the Ducks 5-1 on your former captain and your assistant coach's birthday, Daniel Alfredson. Big night for the team, big night for the boys. Yeah, everybody's happy in Ottawa tonight. Linus Ullmark has a huge game tonight, only letting one in. He stops 31 of 32. He continues his insanely hot streak to start the season. In his past 5 games, he doesn't have a save percentage under .912. He has been absolutely red hot. This is the Linus Ullmark that the Ottawa Senators signed in the past offseason. He coming over from Boston. His bromance was broken up with Jeremy Swayman in Boston. They both started off pretty poorly in the regular season, and finally Ullmark is getting these wins for the Ottawa Senators, who desperately need it to crawl back into any sort of playoff picture. I personally think they're a long shot for the playoffs, which isn't even that hot of a take, but I don't see them making the playoffs this year. If they do, it will be because of Linus Ullmark. Just piggybacking off that little point of Ottawa starting to get hot a little bit, they've won 3 of 4. So 75% of their games, it doesn't sound very good as a percentage, but they win 3 of 4. That's still a huge step forward compared to what they were doing before. And on the other side of the ice, the Anaheim Ducks, they lose 4 in a row, 0-2 with Jacob Trouba on the back end. Just not good over in Anaheim. Drake Batherson is the star in tonight's game. He picked up a natural hat trick en route to picking up his 100th career NHL goal. Congratulations to him. That's a massive accomplishment in the game. For those of you who are wondering what a natural hat trick actually is, it is a hat trick achieved by a player who scores 3 consecutive goals in a span of time during the game where no other player on either team scores a goal. So it has to be 3 consecutive goals before anybody else to be considered a natural hat trick. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, the special teams for both teams were the catalyst for the success or the failure in this game. Ottawa was 3 for 5 on the power play, and the Anaheim Ducks went 0 for 5. That is a stinker of a game. You couldn't even convert once. You suck at this. Going over the goals, Noah Gregor scores 2 minutes and 55 seconds, I think it was, so just under 3 minutes in the first period with a nice pass from Zach Ostapchuk, I think is how you say it. It was a great goal. Batherson made it 2-0 on the power play. One-timer from the bottom of the face-off circle, sneaking right under Gibson's left pad. It ended up being a super close goal to being disallowed because the ref on the ice had originally called it as a no goal. He said Gibson got it, but upon further review, there was a tiny, tiny little clip in the frame showing that the puck was that far over top of past the goal line, causing it to be a good goal. Batherson gets a little bit lucky for his second of the night. A goal is a goal, like we've always been saying. He was on the goal line. He tried to shove it across the crease to a teammate. Goes off of Cam Fowler, former Windsor Spitfire, into the back of the net. It was unfortunate. You could tell by Gibson's reaction. Him and Fowler made eye contact, and Gibson was pretty much like, it happens. It's not a big deal. It happens. It sucks that it happens in this type of game when you're trying to crawl back into it, but it happens. For the third goal of the game, I feel like I'm going to be repeating myself a little bit because Drake Batherson has the puck. His turnaround wrist shot goes off of Cam Fowler into the back of the net. This time it goes off of Cam Fowler's stick, but deja vu. It happened again. 3-0 Ottawa Senators. Captain Brady Tkachuk then battered in a super nice pass from Batherson across the crease. It went over top of a body that was sprawling across the ice trying to block the pass. Nope, Batherson just loops it over to Tkachuk. Beautiful tap in to make it 5-0 at 8:58 of the third period. The Ducks wouldn't go quiet because to break Linus Ullmark's shutout bid, Cutter Gauthier tips in a Mason McTavish shot to make it 5-1 about halfway through the third period. So the Ottawa Senators continue to keep rolling. The Ducks continue to keep sucking. Linus Ullmark stays hot. It's going pretty good for Ottawa right now. Hopefully they can keep it up. I'm rooting for them as a Canadian team, but at the same time, I'm rooting for their downfall because of the Battle of Ontario. 5-1 final in Ottawa. So I was trying to think of something fun to do for a weekly little bit for the channel. So I was trying to rack my brain, and then I'm like, oh, what about this? What about that? And I finally came down to the idea of Wiener Wednesday. Wiener Wednesday, you might ask, why Wiener Wednesday? And get your mind out of the gutter. It's not what you think. This is what I mean by Wiener Wednesday. Say hi, Charlie. So every week I'm going to be picking the wiener of the week on Wiener Wednesday. It's a stupid thing, but I think it's going to be a little fun little bit. It's going to be, I'm just going to pick something random in the league, and it's going to be a person or a team or somebody that's just acting like an idiot, acting like a fool the past week, and let's just hope, the other dog's jealous now. So this week's wiener of the week, I am going to be choosing Kevyn Adams, the general manager of the Buffalo Sabres. Well, the main reason I'm choosing Kevyn Adams this week is because he came out into the press this week talking about accountability, talking about this, causing a lot of debates in Saberland, talking about why people aren't wanting to come to Buffalo to play, why this, why that, and he got a little bit dismissive in the face of Sabres fans, just treating them like they don't know what they're talking about. And let's be honest, Sabres fans are extremely passionate when their team is doing good. If their team isn't doing good, they let their management, they let their players, they let their coaches know what's going on. It's been a long time coming too for the Sabres and Kevyn Adams. He hasn't done a very good job managing this team. He's handed out massive contracts to young players, which right now isn't an issue because they don't have to pay many other players big tickets. But it's not looking good for Buffalo again, who will miss the playoffs, I think, for the 14th straight season. And it's almost a guarantee that it's going to happen. They claim that the season's not over, but according to me, their season's over. So Kevyn Adams, you're the wiener of the week. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hit like, hit subscribe, all that stuff for YouTube, for TikTok. Follow along. We'll be here every night following each game. Tomorrow's a big one, 14 games. Can't wait to see you then.